Good morning, cultists. Welcome to a light dessert with CthuLoops. This is the post-mortem for our Pirates of the Mediterranean campaign. So, let's do this. But before we, I guess, delve into our dynasty and all that stuff, let's take a look at the status of the world. So the Byzantines are still very much so in power, around, well, where they originally are. They have expanded northwards a little bit, and they've also, extended a noodly appendage into Persia. I believe the tide will probably not be able to withstand their might if they decide to go full force into the into Persia more. And speaking of which, the tide are Zoroastrian, and they're bringing it back, which is pretty incredible. Because usually Zoroastrianism gets stomped out rather early. But somehow, somewhere along the lines, I believe, someone got converted to Zoroastrianism. Yes, I believe this guy's son, so Shah Tahmasp the Cruel, was probably converted to Zoroastrianism by an educator, and then he just continued to keep his lineage Zoroastrian, which is incredible. Quite awesome. I love the Zoroastrian faith in this game, so I'm very happy to see it make a full comeback. Actually, in terms of its religious strength, it's only below us, and right now West Africanism is not doing so well because apparently we lost a crap ton of holy wars. I think it's just my vassals and whatnot declaring holy wars and losing them for whatever reason, which is kind of stupid, but oh well. India is still kind of a mess, unfortunately, and they generally tend to stay that way, which is very unfortunate. The Vijayapurid kingdom is apparently making a big stride here, but that's about it. Nepal has, I guess, exploded in some way. They've expanded southwards and then just exploded. The Western Protectorate is actually pretty damn powerful, or at least they're quite extensive in their range here, which is kind of unfortunate. Would have been nice for me to install a bear on the Chinese throne, the dragon throne. Can you imagine if you had someone who looked like a bear, but was of the horse culture on the dragon throne? A horse bear on the dragon throne, sporting our lion flag. Holy crap, that would have been amazing. But I don't think we have quite the military strength in order to be able to take on the Chinese. Because I'm fairly certain, if I recall correctly, they come in with like 150,000, close to like maybe 200,000 or something. So maybe it might be possible for us to possibly take them on if we're smart about our deployment and all that stuff, but I don't think we should probably risk it. Anyways, so Northern Europe is still a giant mess, although the Suomi, of all people, or of all realms, is making quite some strides here. They have not been able to reform their religion, which is kind of a shame, but it's fine. The Germanics, I believe, actually reformed their religion very, very early on. I think, was it in our first episode they managed to reform the religion, which is pretty crazy. Oh, right, this guy's still in my prison. Oops. And my daughter is in line to inherit. That's hilarious. Actually, what if we do that now? What if we devour him? Should we do it? And then my daughter can inherit? And then she'll turn it into West Africanism? Could be great. She could also get blasted in the ass by the Byzantines and Lithuania, and basically she'll just be West African all by herself over there, so I don't think that's great. But yeah, Scandinavia is a giant mess. There's bits of Pomerania all over the place. Thankfully not bits of Pomeranian dogs all over the place, which would be very unfortunate, because, you know, they're kind of cute. And they're dogs. We don't want anything bad happening to dogs, do we? Right. So the British Isles, definite mess. I think it's messier than I usually see it being messy. If that makes any sense. But yeah, it appears that all the dudes that I've relinquished, that I've let go, and to whom I've granted independence, have lost their territory, which isn't surprising at all. Except for these guys in Wiltshire. Somehow he's still hanging on there. I don't know how, but somehow he's still there. And the Isle of Man has also been taken by Scotland. But, oh well. Yeah, Norway's and Iceland. Not surprising. Francia has somehow survived all this. Though, I think basically by the skin of their teeth. I don't think they really... Yeah, if we really wanted to, we could have just completely annihilated them, and this little... Look at his face. Look at his scrunched up fucking face. It looks like he ate a shit lollipop, and then he was only just told about it after he started having his second shit lollipop or something. I don't know. I don't know why he's put his wife in a blanket. What kind of empress garb is that? Is she in mourning? Is she sporting a new fashion of wearing burlap sacks on your head? Is it because she's Orthodox? I don't understand. She's Italian, they're French. Anyways, they're also Orthodox, so that's kind of interesting there. These guys have somehow remained Christian, Catholic rather, or whatever. And yeah, Catholicism is kind of on its way out. It's being held on to by, I guess, kind of weaker realms that have been like super fractured, including the dudes in the British Isles and all that. But yeah, Ireland being Orthodox is kind of funny, and I believe it's also a theocracy. I don't know. I do not understand. It's led by King Bishop Abel of Ayr. So there's that. I think that's pretty much it for the state of the world. Let's go through our dynasty and check out our children before we resign, and then go through the list of the rulers that we've had. So I've had various children with various women. A lot of them my concubines and former wives and all that stuff. I don't think they'll show up as concubines. Yeah, some with wives and some with concubines initially, and then I took the seduction focus and then started like banging them out, literally banging them out non-stop. So that just kind of like went out of control. So we had our first son, Yaroon here, who turned out to be a genius, which is incredible because it usually never happens. 2 geniuses in a row, actually, Bernadette and then Yaroon. It's really unfortunate that we couldn't go with any matrilineal marriages or matrilineal or matriarchies as the Merchant Republic. Kind of sucks, but I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. I guess then, I think part of the reason why that is because only men can hold on or can control the trade posts and increase the trade post limit. So I guess if you have women also contributing, then there's like no stopping you, and you can basically have like an infinite number of trade posts, which would be, I think, even more overpowering than normal. But anyways, just gonna skip through a lot of these children because they've kind of turned out to be not that significant. Had Yaroon over here, who also turned out to be a genius. Strangely Bedouin. Oh, right, it's because I ended up taking her on as a lover, I believe, and not as a concubine or a wife, I think. So he just ended up adopting her culture. She's the last of the Umayyads, I believe, which is actually kind of funny. But anyways, where was I? Okay, so Yaroon. Followed by various other children, and I think this is when I started having bastard children. Actually, Yuva was our first bastard that I had with my wife? What? Oh, I guess, oh, you know what? She might have been my lover before she was my wife. Okay, so at that time of conception and all that stuff, I guess, or at the time of birth, she wasn't my wife, so technically a bastard. We've had Frobert, and this lady we had with the concubine, the Princess of Pannonia, who still has the strong claim on the Kingdom of Pannonia, and her brother is still in my prison. I think he's actually been in my prison for 30-something years, which is pretty hilarious. Unfortunately, I don't think any of my children inherited the wolf's blood from their mother. Yeah, I don't think so. And I think... Yeah, I think she has a strong claim on the throne, which is why she's next in line to inherit the Pannonia. Heir to the Khanate of Pannonia. Magnachar. Right, the guy with the Pokemon name. Another bastard son that I had with another lover. Various children named Snowball, and this is the daughter that I had with a princess. Another daughter named Snowball. She's still alive, actually. Got herpes, sprinting around fantastically. At a girl. And also genius. Would have been quite an awesome character, except for her education, which is theology and thus garbage. And then more useless characters. Yaroon died very unfortunately. It was kind of a shame how he died. Died of scurvy, which I still maintain is bullshit. I mean, he's only on that boat for like a few months. Wasn't even that long, and then Yaroon just died of mysterious circumstances. I don't understand. Just had so many of my children get assassinated, like, out of nowhere. Incantus, who was supposed to be my, my first horse son, unfortunately didn't... He was his own educator, apparently. That could have been the rabies speaking, I don't know. But, yeah, he was supposed to be my horse son, and then it would have been interesting to have him be a horse bear, you know? Kind of like a, what's it? I've forgotten the, centaur, right? But then a bear tar? That would have been pretty cool, but, whatever. Ursus, Kenwa, this guy, I guess? I don't know. Too many children. Too many children. And then had another Yaroon, who also died under mysterious circumstances. Absolute fucking bullshit. And then, like, somewhere along the line, their education just went to hell. Haven't had, like, a level 4 education character for, like, a million years. So that's kind of garbage. Yeah, I guess Freyr, we're still waiting on him possibly turning into a diplomatic type character. Guess I might as well just legitimize him then, but nah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and everyone else is kind of useless. Alright, well, I guess we will go through the list of, actually, maybe we'll do it here. That way we can see where exactly we went bear. I believe... Okay. So, I think the whole bear thing started at around Tanner's life. We noticed that we could bring in some bear courtiers and all that stuff. And, I think that's when it all started. And then when Mortem was in power, I believe we started to see it go into full swing, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if I actually had any bear children. Yeah, you know what? We actually did have some bear children when we were Mortem. Or no, I guess when we were Tanner, because that's Mortem's sister. Right. I don't think she was the progenitor of the bear species or the bear culture in our dynasty, though. Somehow it started with Miwino. I think Miwino was just trained by a bear, and then he took up the bear faith. Also ended up being a eunuch. Was he the last? No, he was actually... No, he was an elusive shadow. I think we've been elusive shadow types for like a very long time. And then, yeah... Okay, so you know what? Let's go through the rest in the resignation list here. There we go. Game over. Fantastic. We beaten House Capet, obviously. I mean, I always do. I'm brushing my shoulder off in case you can't see me, which obviously you can't. Alright, so our dynasty started with Sultan Matar of the Threepwood Most Serene Republic, who started out being Berber, which I thought was necessary for us to go around pirating, but turns out that it wasn't. Ruled for 46 years, which is actually very long for a first character that, you know, like your first ruler is generally doesn't last for that long, but Matar did. Ended up dying at the age of 75, which is pretty crazy long. followed by Pluten, who died relatively younger, at around 60, age 59. Yeah, I think we actually became a king with Matar, which is pretty crazy, because we just started on the island of Canaries and we just expanded really quickly, didn't we? Yeah, I think that's how it happened. I kind of wish I had a time-lapse of the whole proceedings, but it's fine. So Pluten was still tribal, and then with Mediocre, we actually became a merchant republic, which I think is actually fairly fast. I tried... I guess I've tried doing like tribal to merchant republic stuff in the past. Not an Iron Man, obviously. And they generally take a lot longer, but I think we kind of got lucky in that we've been able to do that in like a couple of generations. So Mediocre ruled for 29 years. I actually thought that we'd be cycling through names here, but we have enough sponsors and supporters and names. And also, you know, Berwyn ruling for like a million years also kind of helped out. But yeah, we didn't actually run out of names to use, which actually genuinely surprised me. So Mediocre ruled for 29 years, and then it was succeeded by Tanner, who ruled for 39 years, and that's when we see kind of like the jump in the score here. When Mortem took over, for some reason, actually, that's Miwino, never mind. Sorry. Just getting ahead of myself. Oh wait, are these individual scores? Oh, I guess they're individual scores. I see. Okay, well, alright, well, that makes sense then. So yeah, Mortem, I believe, helped with the turning of Miwino into a bear, which is very cool. Unfortunately, we didn't actually have any bear DNA people in our dynasty, which is, or at least in our list of rulers, which I would have liked to see. Would have been nice to see some polar bear faces. But except for with the exception of Tanner over here, we actually stayed very kind of like Arabic looking, I believe. We still have the Berber, I guess, genetics kind of like going down our lineage here. Tanner, I believe, may have taken the Greek kind of look to his genetics, but beyond that, I think everyone else pretty much stayed along the same lines here. So yeah, Tanner birthed Mortem, and Mortem paved the way for the Bear Dynasty to happen. So I think we ended up having... Yeah, we actually had more Berber rulers than we had Bear rulers, but doesn't matter. It wasn't really the main focus of the campaign anyways. It just kind of happened halfway through because I thought it was hilarious. And it was hilarious, at least in my eyes. I apologize if that annoyed the shit out of you. I was like, what the fuck? This guy's like, I thought he was gonna take this campaign seriously, but he's just fucking playing as a bear. What the fuck is this guy doing? The fucking worst. Unsubscribe. Like, how dare he play as a bear? It's so fucking offensive. I apologize if that's you. And I apologize if that's your actual voice, because then you sound silly as fuck. But anyways, you also sound like Seuss from Gravity Falls, who is not... Well, he is silly as fuck, but he's awesome. But anyways. So Mortem, despite the fact that he wasn't immortal, actually ruled for 58 years. And I think that's kind of what set off the whole trend of the subsequent rulers being very, very old when they took over. So when Mortem took over, he was actually... How old is that? So that's 5, 6, 3. He's actually very young when he took over. Yeah, super, super young when he took over. And then he ruled for 58 years. And unfortunately, I think with Mortem... Yeah, I think what happened was when Mortem took over, we had way too many people in my court. And that started playing a havoc with our fertility rates. So we didn't end up having very many genius children. And I think Miwino was one of the first genius children that Mortem had. And so, being the first and whatnot meant that by the time his time to rule came out, he actually was very old. So he took over when he was 52 years old. 52 years old. I generally don't like playing as characters that are super old to start off, because by 52 you're basically you can die at any time. You can die a natural death. The game can just kill you off. You're like, yeah, you know what? You rolled the low number on your natural health or whatever bullshit, so you're just fucking dead. Which is kind of what happened to Vanthus. So Miwino died at 74, which is only 1 year younger than when Mortem died, but he'd only been ruling for 22 years, which is less than half of what Mortem was ruling for. And then Vanthus only survived for 3 episodes, for 9 years. 3 episodes. Which is kind of a shame. I was kind of hoping that he'd be able to live as long as Miwino did. But it happens. And then Vanthus was succeeded by Emilia, who ruled for 24 years. And actually he took over at a decent age. Not amazing, but at a decent age. And I think he died of an infection or something. He died of some complication, I think. And he was the... Emilia was the one that actually formed the Empire of Africa, which I can't see right now because I can't click this thing. And then we were succeeded by... Sorry, Emilia was succeeded by Berwin, who once again became immortal. Like, what the hell? I can't believe my luck. It's incredible. But yeah, this does mean that my luck elsewhere in life is just absolute garbage. I'm kidding. It's not that bad. Some parts of it are bad. Like how I encounter... I don't know if you've seen any of my other campaigns or series or whatever, but I generally tend to encounter every bug under the sun. So yeah, if you want to watch my live streams, you can see those bugs happen live. And they're bugs that no one else has ever encountered or are extremely rare or whatever, but I seem to encounter them on a regular basis. So maybe that's where all my luck is coming from. I don't know, but yeah. So Berwin obviously ended up with the greatest score here because he's been able to rule for the longest. And also, I believe under his rule, we also took the Kingdom of Lombardy as well as Austrasia. And I think... Constantinople, and I think under him is when we took over the majority of the islands in the Mediterranean. So yeah, and we did take all the islands in the Mediterranean, right? Yeah, we took Venice, we took Sardinia and Corsica, we took Sicily, we took Malta, which is of course the most important, so that we can ensure that Dragostea gets made by the by Ozone. We took, I'll be honest with you, I don't actually remember the name of this island here, but I remember Cyprus. I have a friend who's from Cyprus, so, you know. So yeah, we've been able to accomplish much with Berwin because we didn't need to worry about succession, we didn't need to worry about anything else, about health or disease, and we've actually been able to end this campaign before the onset of the Mongols and the Black Death, I believe, which I think would have been interesting. But it also would have been absolute, like, I think that would have been the end for our campaign, for our dynasty, had we stuck around for the Black Death, because Berwin here is a eunuch. He lost his testicles in his effort to cure his syphilis, meaning that he can't have any more children, unless somehow he, I guess, what we could try to do is, if he wanted to, we could, convert to the Christian faith or some other faith besides West Africanism and join the Satanists, and then hope that Satan regrows my testicles and then go on to sire more progeny. But I don't know, because Berwin is considered a crazy cannibal and has a -50 opinion with like everyone. I don't know if his rulership is really going to continue. I think he's probably going to be on his way out if we do continue on with this campaign. I may have made a mistake there, but I really wanted to see how the Devourer thing works. And also, I wanted to get that achievement for eating a person of the Bun religion. So, yeah, that is, I think, the end of our post-mortem. I don't know if there's much else for me to go through. We've, I think, gone through everything. We've somehow been able to be part of the Assassin's Guild, I think, almost from the very start. if not the very start. I actually kind of don't remember if Matar was part of the Assassin's Guild, but I think he was. Or maybe not. Or maybe it started with Mediocre. But yeah, we've been able to be part of the Assassin's Guild for pretty much our entire playthrough, which is pretty crazy. And I actually really enjoyed being part of the Assassin's Guild. Now, it is fairly underdeveloped when compared to the other sects and secret religions, or not secret religions, secret societies, that's it. So yeah, it's fairly underdeveloped, I found, in comparison to the other secret societies, but it was still pretty fun, and it gave us quite the edge that we needed to annihilate my patrician families and all that stuff, so that was fun. Also being able to abduct just about anyone with a considerable amount of luck at times was also pretty awesome, especially when we kidnapped the Pope in the middle of the Holy Crusade and then piece him out and then capture him again. That was hilarious, but yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be it for our post-mortem. Join me in the next campaign as we play as the Indians, or at least as the White Hun Indian guy, I guess, of this one county. And then we bring about not the end of the world. No, that's not how the sentence is going. But we bring about the resurrection of the White Hun Empire, which I believe were a group of Persian, Iranian dudes, I guess, who did some stuff. I don't know why they were called the White Huns. But yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll just try to work towards a crap ton of other achievements that are associated with the Indian religions and all that stuff. So that'll be fun. Not to mention that one of the achievements is actually papier mâché, where you have to, you know, capture the Pope basically, and then have him get executed by being stomped on by an elephant. So that's gonna be fun, I think. And yeah, and we'll be sacrificing a lot of people to Kali Ma and all that stuff, which I think will be fun. But yeah, I don't know what the title of the campaign will be. Hopefully something witty. I thought I had something in mind, but then I thought maybe, I mean, if we're going to be focusing on the White Hun stuff, maybe we'll go with something else, but doesn't matter. It's not for you to worry about. That'll be something for me to think about. So yeah, that's it for our very jam-packed and very verbose post-mortem, but they tend to be that way anyways, right? So yeah, let's leave this off here for now, and we'll come back in our next campaign for some more CK2. So I hope to see you guys then, and for now, thanks for watching and have an amazing breakfast.